Hello, it is V. Welcome to my channel. It's been a hot minute. I apologize, but I'm here to do a tag. Rachele and Carla um, did put a cool tag together, and I had to get involved. So I've done my research, and I have got my notes, and we are going to do the Tarot Friends tag. And this is kind of a fun one. So I hope you enjoy it. And let's get started. So, the Tarot Friends tag, it's 15 questions. And right up front, I'm going to tag everybody who watches this because this is for everybody. This is a share bits about ourselves in a nice, fun, friendly style. And I'd love to see your responses and your answers to the questions so we can all get to know each other. Isn't that wonderful? Okay, so Tarot Friends tag 15 questions. Now I have my iPad over here so I can read out what they are, and then I have my answers here. So apologies for the bad lighting. It's 11:30 at night. I'm in my living room and I hate lights. So I have tried to bring in some of the lights in front so you can at least see my face, but my camera on my computer just doesn't like to manage it. And Zoom, well, you know how that is in low light conditions. So apologies for the video quality. All right, I gotta find this here. All right. Okay, so just to give you an overview, this tag, the hashtag Tarot Friends tag, was created by Rachele of Amethyst, Ascension, Tarot, and Astrology, and Carla of Misscoolala's Mystical Musings. It's a fun, reflective, and deeply personal way for tarot and oracle lovers to connect through symbolism, aesthetics, spirituality, storytelling, and the decks that resonate with who we are. So, um, yeah, it's not about right answers. It's about resonance, connection, symbolism, personality, self expression through tarot and oracle decks. And mine is heavily oracle because even though I have a lot of decks, I don't have a lot of tarot decks. So, which is fine, which is fine. And now I have my basket backwards. All right. So, here we go. The first question is favorite color. And can any of you guys guess? My favorite color is black. So I'm wearing black every day. It's just who I am. My house might be colorful, but me, I like to stay all in black. It's the 80s goth that never went away. So my the deck that I chose for question one is a deck I've never really used yet because it's like I think a pip deck. I think that's what it's called. Um, so I haven't really used it, but I love the deck. I just think it's so cute. And it is my tarot familiars. And obviously, I'm choosing it because it is indeed black. So, again, it's a pip deck, and I don't think it's made to do reversals because the back has got the person's name on the back. So, it's just really cute. Excuse me. Lots of animals, lots of black cats. So, excuse me. I swallowed something. I have a fan kind of blowing things around, so something caught my throat. So, yes. So, that is my deck for the first question, which is my Tarot Familiars by, I think, Lisa Parker. think, yeah, I think it's Lisa Parker. I apologize for my my throat. Maybe I'm out of practice. I'm out of practice. I haven't been online for a while. All right. So that was my first question. Favorite color black, tarot familiars for that deck. Now the second question is favorite crystal. And my favorite crystal is pyrite. And I brought my beautiful pyrite skull as a show and tell. I love this thing. Got it up in Burlington, Vermont, and I absolutely love him. He's my one of my favorites. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I think I have 12 skulls, and he is right up there with one of my favorites. So my favorite crystal is pyrite, and I have tons of pyrite all over my house. And the deck I chose is the very first tarot deck I ever bought, way back in the early 90s, I think. And I've only recently started using it. Not consistently, but and the reason why I chose it, if I can get all the cards out, is because it is beautiful. So this is my medieval Scapini deck, and the backs, they just match. They match. So it's got these beautiful medieval cards, all with that pyrite colored gold. And I thought that would be a perfect match for my favorite crystal. So yeah, so that's my very first deck I ever bought myself back in I think like a 1992, 93, something like that. It's a very good deck, very honest deck. And I do enjoy it. All right, so let me put that back in the box. All right, question 3, life path number. And I am a 2. So, as a 2, just to kind of just give a little bit of what it says. So, it's all about partnerships and bonds, part of a team, giving, and long lasting connections. A lot of really beautiful symbolism for life path 2. So I chose one of my prettier decks that I've had for a while, and that is my Kuan Yin Oracle by Alana Fairchild. And I really love these cards. These cards are beautiful. And I can't show a lot of them because there's a lot of nudity. But Kuan Yin as a deity or a bodhisattva is somebody that I've always kind of looked up to. I don't really do deity work, but there's a lot in just bodhisattvas in general that I really relate to, and I chose my Kuan Yin Oracle. Um, I can show you this picture. um, I think that was a very out of all of my decks, that one seemed to resonate the most with me with life path number two. Now, if I can get, I try to keep my little bands on my cards. So, all right, so there's that. Kuan Yin for life path number two. Number four, Myers Briggs personality type. And I am an ISFJ. Um, Go figure, the defender. You mess with my family, you get the claws. That's just who it is. I will defend any friend, any family member, any person who is marginalized in any way. I am your ally. I will stand up and I will fight for you. So that is who I am, and I chose my other Alana Fairchild Oracle, which I think matched the ISFJ archetype, and that is the White Light Oracle. I really like just the imagery, and to me, somebody who is going to stand up for anybody carries a light within them, and is willing to share. And white light is what white light is. And I think anybody who works in those spaces are full of light. So that is why I chose. And of course, the wolf on the back is just beautiful. So that is what I think. I don't know. Let me know in the comments if you think they resonate. So the ISFJ White Light Oracle, that is question 4. Now, here's where it gets a little bit weird, because since the pandemic, I have barely almost maybe I probably since 2020 I've watched maybe a total of 15 hours of TV. So I don't watch TV. But what I do is I spend my life on YouTube. And when I need, because those of you who know or who are my friends of Facebook, you know, I am in the thick of it with politics, and I try to share the truth, and I try to be, you know, just get the message out there so people are not, I guess, taken advantage of by our current regime. And because I watch so many hours of politics on YouTube, various different channels, from news channels to independent media to everything, I just try to collect all the information and come up with the truth and spread the truth. So my palate cleanser, so to speak, I have a few palate cleansers, channels like Charlotte Dobre and Call Me Chris. And one that I really enjoy is when I basically can't sleep with Call Me Chris and Selena Spooky Boo. And when they do their, fun little haunted things. And Selena came out with an infinity deck. So, since I don't have a favorite TV show, I do have a channel that I watch as a palate cleanser, and I consider it very much TV. And this is just a simple, basically a simple, similar to a Ouija board type thing. And I haven't used it yet. I've been, it's been under my bed to kind of get the energy, and trying to find the right situation to use them. So I decided that the Infinity deck would be the deck that I chose for um, favorite TV show, which is basically YouTube, my palette cleanser. And yeah, so it's Selena Myers's Infinity that she came out with. And I pre-ordered it and got it, and it's a very cool little deck. Yes, no, ask again, don't ask, those types of things. So that is question 4, or question 5. So my current favorite show I'm watching, which is basically just YouTube. All right. So 6 is a sun, moon, and rising sign association. And it says pick one or all. So I decided to pick all. I am a Virgo sun, Gemini moon, and a Scorpio rising. And the deck that I chose is a really cool deck that I have. And it does help me learn a little bit about astrology, and that is the Star Codes Astro Oracle, which is a very neat deck. And I pulled, I'm actually a cusper, so I'm kind of like Virgo, um, a Virgo Libra. But as I get older, I become more and more Virgo. So these cards are very cool. They are very cool. And they're very beautiful. And here's the Gemini with the bees. Oh, gorgeous. And here's the Scorpio. So I chose my Astro deck. It's kind of like go figure, because it's all about the planets and the signs, and it's from Heather Rowan Robbins. So the star codes Astro for my sun, moon, and rising sign. All right. Okay. 7. I have nothing for 7 because that is the most recent movie watched. And I guess I think when I was in South Carolina, I watched 2.25 movies. 2 of them were Oscar winners. One was the one with I can't even remember his name, but it was kind of like set in the South, kind of vampire-y with who his name? The Wakanda guy. I don't know. I can't remember. You guys are all screaming at me because you probably know it. I kind of enjoyed what I did watch because I understood the story underlying it. But I saw that. Then I saw the ping pong movie, which I hated. Um, and so I have nothing. I have no decks that are that. But the very last movie I watched was a documentary on cats. So I guess I could reuse the tarot familiars. I don't know. So I really don't have anything for 7. So let's move on to 8. 8 is favorite music genre. And gee, I wonder what that could be. I'm the rock and roll mystic, so it must be rock and roll. And I have a rock show every week on White Horse Radio. So it's definitely rock. It doesn't matter what genre. I like classic to metal. The only thing I really don't like is I don't really like the screamy stuff. But I have a deck that actually could work because it is a fun little deck, and it is my Labyrinth Tarot because I love David Bowie, and I played David Bowie a lot on my show, and this is just very, very cool. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. Um, but yeah, they're so cool. They are such a cool. I guess this would be considered a pip deck too. Um, yeah, it's very cool. You have like the dancers instead of the lovers. Um, then I mean, all these, I look at these and all these characters remind me. So where is Jareth? Let's see. Jareth is, I've tried to use this, so they're not in any order. So let's see. Where is Jareth? I'm sure he's probably one of the kings. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Where are you, Jareth? Where are you, Jareth? The only one I haven't seen, and if you've seen Labyrinth, my favorite, my favorite character outside of Jareth was the little worm, and the little worm is not in the deck. Unfortunately, you know that worm that goes, "Hello." Did you say hello? No, I said hello. It's close enough. I just love that worm. The worm was the best. Um, Anyway, I don't know where Jareth is. These cards do not slide very well, so I'm having a hard time finding it. But yeah, so that is my favorite music genre and the deck that I chose. And here there's the star. So yeah. So that is my that's my rock deck. That is my rock deck. Put this back, put this back, get in there, get in there. I think I'm rushing too much. My hands aren't working. All right, let's put that back. So there is my favorite music genre and the deck that correlates to that. All right, next one is favorite season of the year. And I am a fall girly. Um, uh, I don't really follow the wheel too much, but Mavin sometimes falls on my birthday. So I do celebrate Mavin. But so the fall and Halloween are my absolute favorite seasons of the year. And the one thing my husband and I every year, when we can, we didn't get to do it last year, but when we first moved into this house, there were a lot of kids, and our first few years, like probably the first 10 years we lived here, we would wait, we would count how many kids we got, and we've got over 100 several times. Now it's fallen off because the high schoolers that were around back then, they're moved off. They're probably married in college, whatever. So we don't have a lot of kids around, and there's a lot of places and organizations that do trunk or treats now. So the kids just go to like the school parking lot and they have a trunk and treat or church or whatever. So there's not a lot of kids walking around, and we live in a river city with lots of cars. So it's probably safer for them. But anyway, that being said, when we have Halloween, my husband and I dress up. We have our costumes. We have our little cauldrons of candy, and we set up the whole yard and we sit outside. So, because we have a lot of stairs, and so we sit down like this one um, flight of stairs, and then a small landing, and then another one that goes down to the road. So we sit on the landing, so the kids don't have to walk up so far because the top flight, they're not very safe. And kids trying to walk around with costumes, it's not really safe. So we make a thing out of it, and I bring out my computer and we play Halloween movies. And my husband and I, our favorite Halloween movie is Nightmare Before Christmas. And we play it every year. We'll probably play it twice in one night. Sometimes we'll play Coraline, afterwards, or we'll pay Corpse Bride, but this is always our go-to. Now, it sounds, you know, I guess different because some people think it's a Christmas movie. I've never felt that it's a Christmas movie. I think it could be both, but yeah, so we have so this is the one that I have found for my for the fall because it reminds me of Halloween. And we got, Jack, and it's a very cute deck. I've used it a few times. It is pretty good. It is pretty good. It was Santa. It was Santa. But it is one. If I was to choose a movie that would probably be one of my favorite movies, it would be this. I have seen this movie a bajillion times. So, favorite season of the year, tarot deck, is Nightmare Before Christmas. So, I haven't seen anybody, do a flip through on one of these. So maybe one of these days I'll do flip throughs. I've never seen myself doing it because I don't have the right setup for it, but yeah, I can figure it out. Okay. Now, 10. Current book you are reading. Now, if you've been watching for a while, you know I have a problem. And that problem is I have an extensive library of partly read books. So I'm not really good at reading books. The last book I bought was The Psychic Art of Tarot by Matt Orn. And since I have been trying to learn, I am going to say that the book that I have looked at the most probably have to do with tarot. And since I am trying to learn, I've been using the Rider-Waite. And so that is my deck for the most recent book. Only because I keep reading books about tarot because I'm trying to learn my Rider-Waite. So I chose that deck. And I love these pocket decks. I think I'm going to find pocket decks of almost all of my favorite decks. Because they're easier for my little hands to shuffle. I got my it's not in this collection because I don't see where it would fit, but my most recent deck that I bought was the Grand Tableau Lenormand. I think that's how you pronounce it. And I can actually shuffle the way I see all you guys shuffle it, which I've always been amazed because I can't do that. But the Lenormand, because it's so little as far as cards, I'm like, oh, I'm actually doing it. Yay. All right. So the current book you're reading, so that's the Rider-Waite number 11 is a deck that fits your humor style. This was a little bit hard, but I went through and I'm like, you know what? I like to look at life through the child's eyes. And I think I probably have a very childlike sense of humor. I don't have a dark sense of humor. I'm autistic, so I don't get context or get subtext. So when somebody says something, I don't get it. I just suppose it. So I decided that I was going to use for my humor style because it's very childlike, my child's deck. So my children's spirit animal cards. And it has all of these cute little, it's a very simple children's deck. and I love animals, and I get very giddy around animals and bugs and whatever. So I thought that my little spirit animal oracle deck for children is, I guess, best suits me. Um, so yeah, and it's a very cute deck, very, very, very cute deck. Um, so if anybody has any little kids, I just think it's adorable. It's who did it? Who did it? Oh, it's Stephen Farmer. So yeah, it's a very, very, very cute little book. Um, or little deck. All right. My Carl Jung archetype. I am, and I am my two things. I did the test that Carla had on the thing, and I am an innocent child, wise old man. So a little bit of crazy differences there. Um, so let me go back to my notes, and it said, my Jungian arc. I can't speak tonight. It's too late. I don't know. So out of myself, I'm 76% innocent child, 73% joker, 72% great father, and 72% wise old man. And then my persona is 73% wise old man, 72% innocent child, 71% caregiver, and 70% joker. So, with that being said, I actually I pulled, let's see, what deck did I choose? I'm gonna go with my other, because this innocent child is pretty 76 and 72%. I'm going to go with one of my Doreen Virtue decks. It's one of my first Doreen Virtue decks, and I really love it. And I guess it's probably was made for young adults, and that's my Magical Unicorns deck. And I'm trying to get over the energy of having these decks, because she was my entry into Oracle. Um, but this deck it's very beautiful. Very, I love unicorns. My sister, who was taken from us in 1991, was a huge unicorn. So anything time I see unicorns, I get a little nostalgic. And I remember watching as a little kid The Last Unicorn, and some of these remind me of that. So I think, with the innocent child being big on the thing, that I would go with my Magical Unicorns young adult book. It's very sweet, and it's very whenever I pulled from it, I always got the message that I needed. Um, and so yeah, so I think that's the best one. All right. So let's go back to my notes. All right. My favorite goddess. All right. Now, here is the thing. As I mentioned before, I don't do deity work. Have I had um, gods and goddesses reach out to me for random reasons? Yes, I have. I would probably say the closest deity that or goddess that I kind of work with, or I don't know if I work with, but I have a gratitude practice, and that's Bastet. Because Bastet, my cat just like leaped over as I said Bastet, which is funny because Bastet is the one who brought me my cat Abby, and she is one that kind of made that connection. It was funny, little story time. When after my cat Maisie passed away, in 2023. Um, she was only 3, and I are 3.5. And um, I had gotten really angry because both her and her brother were FELV positive, and I was trying my hardest to save their little lives and to give them the healthiest, happiest life possible. And I was succeeding, and they were extremely healthy and they were extremely happy until they were not healthy. And both of them within 2 weeks went from being healthy to gone. Um, Frankie went first. He was 2 years old when he passed, and then Maisie died a year and a half later. And I took all of it took a lot of energy for me, and I had to transition both of them and do what I needed to do. And so I went months being angry and grieving and just the anger and the rage I felt for number one, having these, even though I know that nobody leaves this planet or no thing leaves this planet before their time. I know all of this logically. I knew they were given to us, and I was the person that was supposed to carry them through whatever life they had. And they've been around me, they're still around me. But I was still angry because I had busted my butt trying to heal them. And I failed in my twisted brain. I failed. Um, and so we were cat free for a while. And Maisie died on Easter of 2023. And then by like October, my husband was like, you need to stop. You need to be a mom again. And I started getting my brain wrapped around like bringing another animal in this house. And I was still dealing with stuff. And at the end of October, my best friend came up from Louisiana and we were visiting. And here's the funny part. We went to a diner with my mother, and we were talking about what Brian had done, and we were talking about Maisie and talking about the idea of me having another cat. And my best friend is a psychic medium channel. So all of a sudden we're sitting there, we're eating pancakes. I don't know what everybody else was. I was eating my gluten-free pancakes. And we're talking, and basically Bastet came up to us like a little waitress, and she was like, okay, what do you want? Like, what type of cat do you want? And we had a conversation right there in the diner with Bastet. And on November 12th, or by November 12th, we had Abby. So Abby was brought to the house. I think Maisie had a hand in it, Frankie had a hand in it, and Bastet. And they all got together and brought us Abby. So I have had a gratitude practice with her, but I don't really do daily work outside of that. The other one that got us, that I have felt a little bit of a connection to, but again, don't do daily work, is the Morgan. And, with my experience with the Raven and my absolute love of crows, it just kind of makes sense. So I have chosen for Bastet. I have this very cool deck, the Ancient Animal Wisdom deck. And it has a very, to me, it has a very African feel to it. So I am going to choose this for Bastet. And you can see we got the wildebeest, and it just, the artwork just seems very much African in nature. And since I was born in Africa, I saw it and I immediately felt a connection to it. And so we have the Nile crocodile, So, since Egypt is in Africa, I decided that this would be, and look at that ant. Now, ants hate me, but that's a cool artwork. Um, that's just cool. Anyway, so that's my Bastet deck. And my deck for the Morgan is surprise, surprise. It's my favorite Crow Tarot, which is the deck that I use more than any other deck out of everything. So that's what I chose for my goddess. I like I said, don't really do much with goddesses. But those are the two that I probably are the closest to. Now, the favorite god, um, believe it or not, it's Master Y. Um, so I have a very specific deck. And again, it's another Doreen Virtue deck. Um, Master Yeshua. I've had many a conversation with him. He is somebody I look up to. He is somebody that um, I feel very connected to since I've been raised um, Christian. I still consider myself Christian in many ways. Even I have never had any trauma or anything wrapped around that. So the deck that I have is the loving words from Jesus. It is very cool, and it is all New Testament, which I am a big believer in because obviously, if you know anything about Christian, the New Testament kind of nullified the Old Testament, and I live by this version of Christianity. I live by the version of what he brought to us, and on top of that, um, I was raised Mormon, and one of my favorite artists or religious artists is Greg Olson, and Greg Olson does the artwork of this. I actually have a print of this one. Um, and yeah, so out of my favorite god, I'm going with Master Y because Master Y is always there. He's always been there. And I've had many a conversation with him, and he's a very cool dude. So that is my favorite god. So that brings us to our final question. A deck that feels most like your lineage. And this is another one where I have two because I am about 20 about 40 some odd percent Scottish. So I brought out my other unicorn deck because since the unicorn is the mascot of Scotland, and this deck, holy crap, is this a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful deck. Um, it's just gorgeous. And again, between my sister, my Scottish heritage, and my love of all things unicorn, just look at that. Look how gorgeous that is. It's just gorgeous. It's just gorgeous. And it's another one of those decks that has just such good readings. When you need it, it's there to kind of give you a lift. So that is the first deck of lineage. And then the second deck is, and I got this. It made sense when I saw Carla talking it because she and I are pretty similar in a lot of ways. So I chose my Star Temple Oracle for my galactic side. I do have I have conversations with the Galactics often. They are, I know my source point is Nibiru. I've been an Octarian, a Palladian, an Orion. So, yeah. So I got my star temple. And I love these cards because it actually it's just a very cool deck. Um, and it's all representations of different stars, star systems, and yeah. So that is my secondary lineage card. So yeah, I think that's it. That is it. Yep, that was question 15. So yeah, that's all I got. And this was really fun. Made me work a little bit for it, which is fine. Which is fine. I loved it. It helped me do more research. I did an inventory of all my decks, so now I know what I have, and they're not all over the place in my scattered brain. So yeah, so this was a fun tag. So thank you very much, Carla and Rachele. I hope to see others do this tag. Um, I hope that maybe if we do a similar tag down the road, I'll have more tarot decks because I have a few on my Amazon wish list for my for like birthdays and Christmases and stuff like that. Um, but yeah, I I don't know what else to say. I think that's it. So thanks for watching. And hopefully there won't be as long of a time period between the last video and the next video, or this video and the next video. I'm trying to be a little bit better. My second channel, Spell Spoons and Alchemy, I posted another video, my very first video on it this past week. I hope to be doing, I'm going to try to batch record. So I have at least 2 weeks in the tank so I can post weekly. So if you are neurodivergent and if you are in menopause, you're welcome to join me over there. I'm trying to build a community because, neurodivergent menopause, it's a situation that I think we need to build a community around because there's a lot of us suffering out there. And I hope that that channel can be a place where we can kind of help each other up that crazy mountain, chaotic mountain of menopause and neurodivergence. So yeah, so all that will be in the description. So check down there. I will also leave all of the information about the tag in that Rachele and Carla put together. I'll put that in the description box, and I will link to the original video with Carla and Rachele. So make sure you check that out. And while you're sitting around my channel, hit that like button, subscribe, and if you want to see when I post more videos, because I'm not on a routine, it might help you to hit that notification bell so you know when I upload. And with that, have a wonderful night, everybody, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.